Good morning, North Branford, and welcome to this jam-packed edition of T-Bird News. I'm Paul.
And I'm Carly. Let's get it started. The week before we went on our April break was a busy one for sure. To start, the greenhouse was seeing a lot of action and was able to host the TVES students here for a garden party. Paul Raffone was catching some rays with them.
I'm outside the greenhouse. This is where the garden party for TVS took place. Let me show you.
I want you to imagine that you're a bee.
The TVS third graders came over to the greenhouse for their garden party. While they were here, they pollinated strawberries and wildflowers with Mr. B's greenagers and Mrs. Redmond's students. I spoke with Mr. B about the learning process.
I believe the third grade garden party with our guests from TVES was a great success. The third graders with Mrs. Morton as their point of contact, they were in charge of learning more about the pollination process of strawberries in particular, so we dealt a lot with the strawberry plants. And the pollination process, I think it was a great collaboration with Mrs. Redmond and her science classes. The high school students working with the third graders explaining more of the pollination process. The students from TVES also worked with worms in the garden and explored a little bit more. They got a chance to dig out in our garden outside and explore and look for worms, as well as the pollination process of wildflowers. So the students, at the end of the day, all took home supplies that would help them build their own garden at home.
With the help of Miss Bonnie Samansky and Miss Nancy Tipping, the third graders also had the opportunity to learn about the North Branford Land Conservation Trust. Here they are.
The Land Trust is responsible for educating people in the community about what we do, which is to conserve land and to conserve water and to make sure that North Branford is a healthy, sustainable community. We introduced them to our trails. I showed them some of the things I have found on the trails, like, the deer antlers and the turkey feathers, to inspire them to get outside and walk.
I'm very interested in the Pollinator Pathway Project because we have done a lot of damage to our native bee population. Our farmers now bring in hives of European honeybees that aren't even native in order to pollinate their crops. Well, we have over 300 species of native bees. We've not done a very good job of keeping native plants in the whole country, even in Connecticut too. So what I would like to do is have everybody understand how native plants support pollinators, they support insects, insects support birds and animals, and the whole biodiversity of the environment supports humans.
I hope the third graders had a good time and learned a lot. For T-Bird News, I'm Paul Raffone.
Also that week, the National Honor Society hosted their senior luncheon. The event was filled with excitement and entertainment. Brothers Josh and Nate Higgins teamed up to give us more on the event.
Our local chapter of the National Honor Society is giving back to the community in a very unique way. Come take a look.
The lunch took place a month ago in the gym. Senior citizens were invited to partake in the festivities. To entertain our guests, multiple ensembles were invited to perform. The chamber choir, jazz band, and the Newsies ensemble all performed for our senior guests, volunteering their time to help their community.
I love tea. I love the Java Jive and it loves me.
The National Honor Society also created games and activities for the visiting seniors, including bingo and a craft activity. The seniors seemed to enjoy their time at NBHS, which serves as a testament to the success of the event. Mila, an NHS leader, has some insight on the planning process.
So we had to plan out which members were going to do what. We had some people serve, we had some people set up, clean up, different things like that, set up activities. It was a lot of fun, but throughout the entire day, everyone was there for each other and just making sure that we had a successful day.
Here is Jason on what he did at the event.
So during the event, I was kind of like a flex member. We had a very good turnout for the whole thing. So I kind of helped out wherever they needed help with. And I think that was a key to the success of the whole event, where a lot of people were contributing in more ways than what they signed up for. So I think that was very good.
As NHS continues to serve the local community, events like the senior luncheon are extremely important.
Here at NBHS, we're always happy to give back to the community. Thank you to everyone who helped make the event a success. For the T-Bird News, we're Nate and Josh Higgins.
From April 25th to May 6th, the Animal Allies Club held a pet supply drive. Supplies such as pet food, animal litter, and toys were collected for the animals at Animal Haven, located in North Haven. These items are needed to help the animals in the shelter as they wait for a special owner to adopt them. Even cash or check donations are greatly appreciated. Some animals that you will help are Enzo, Boston, Nacho, Paddington, Mario, and Gidget. Look how cuddly Cabbage looks. And Applejack, he's straight chillin'. Your donations will go to these special pets, and remember, adopt, don't shop.
Next Friday, the Health and Wellness Fair and Field Day will happen. In the week prior, they are sponsoring a challenge to raise money for the St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital during lunch block. The challenge is to have a variety of outfits for Mr. Hersom to wear, and the student body will vote on them via their donation amount. The top 5 outfits that have the most donations in the jug will be rocked by Mr. Hersom himself. We all know that we want to see him sport that bunny suit like a champ. Once Friday hits, we will have class color wars where freshmen wear red, sophomores wear blue, juniors wear green, and seniors wear pink. It should be a fun event for all to enjoy. The English department has some exciting news coming up that regards a few of our teachers. First, we have Miss Dodds, who was selected to be a part of the National Endowment for the Humanities Summer Institute. Here she is with more information.
So I was accepted into a summer teacher program put on through the National Endowment for the Humanities. That's all about changing attitudes about land and the wilderness in the late 1800s and early 1900s. It takes place in New York City and the Adirondacks. It's for 2 weeks in July, and there's going to be a group of about 25 other teachers from all around the country. And this is very similar to what I do in my UConn Early College Experience class. The theme of the class is all about changing attitudes and perspectives on wilderness, and I haven't covered anything from that time period or that place, so I'm really excited to learn more about the topic in that time period and place and apply it to my class next year.
Mrs. Ostermiller was also selected as a scholarship recipient to attend the Jane Austen Summer Program to further her professional development. Here's her take on it.
I was informed by the Jane Austen Institute that I am a scholarship winner for their conference this year. It takes place at Chapel Hill University in North Carolina. It's in June, right around our graduation. I have been to the conference once before, a few years ago. It changes every year. This year they're focusing on Shakespeare and Jane Austen, and I work that into not only my 9th grade Shakespeare unit, but also and especially into my 11th grade Brit Lit unit. It should be lots of fun. There are some pretty crazy Jane Austen fanatics at the conference. And there's all kinds of different reading groups and scholarly groups and workshops, and we visit the university library. So I'm really looking forward to it, and I'm really honored to be the scholarship winner, or a scholarship winner, because I think there are 8 of us all together. But I'm also the only one from New England, so that's kind of fun.
Sticking with the English department, you may have heard that the NBHS press is back in action. Carly Parenti has the insight.
A highlight for the English department this year has been the return of the NBHS Press. Let's see what they've been reporting on. The Press is a strictly online newspaper filled with photos and articles about both our high school and the North Branford community. It covers a wide range of topics, such as various clubs and events happening in our school, along with different classes and sports. They are always covering new topics and adding material, making it the perfect place to find out information about our town and school.
Journalism is different from other English classes because you get to write more about things that you care about or things that you're interested in, and you also get to learn a new skill set because the writing is less formal but in very different ways, so it's a really fun thing to learn.
When I'm choosing an article, I basically think about some events that are upcoming in our school, or I think about clubs that aren't very well known, and I choose one of those things to write about. And then after Ms. Orner approves our topic, we can start doing interviews. After I get my interviews, I write an article based on what answers I got.
All of the paper's content is written by NBHS students themselves who are enrolled in journalism, a course that was brought back this year. The class is taught by Miss Orner, who has now taken on the role of running the press. I talked to her to learn more about it.
So I wanted to run the journalism class and run the NBHS press because being on the newspaper committee in high school was always really fun for me. It always kind of opened up new opportunities for writing for me, so I thought that it'd be awesome to provide that to my students. So the reason they brought the class back this year is because there were enough students to actually run the class. In previous years when students have taken course registration, there wasn't enough students signing up for the class, whereas now we have students signing up for the class, so we were able to run it in one semester. For the topics that we covered, we choose topics based on what students are interested in. So current events and things that are happening around the school, things that are happening in the community, and students pick things based on their interests and things that they want to focus on or that they're even involved in.
Be sure to check out the press to stay up to date with all our school's latest news and events. For T-Bird News, I'm Carly Parenti.
Last Wednesday, the annual North Branford Public Schools Art Show began at the Edward Smith Library in Northford. This show featured artwork from all the students in North Branford, ranging from kindergarten to high school seniors.
Next week on Wednesday, May 18th, the Environmental Fair will be kicking off once again, including local environmental agencies ranging from agriculture to alternative energy sources. Both AP and CP environmental classes will have interactive booths, which are directly correlated to the O in the SOAR rubric. Mr. B's Greenagers will hold 2 booths, and Mrs. Bernstein is having a craft upcycling table. This is always a fun day for NBHS that you do not want to miss.
Last week, the Bridges program took a trip to Mystic Aquarium. Mr. Tutora rounded up his troops to see some beluga whales, as well as some other aquatic life. They explored these exhibits, especially the interactive ones. They learned about the marine life and the impact of the aquarium on the community. Some of the students would like to pursue careers working with animals, so this field trip made a positive impact on them. Jonathan Cristiano was able to grab some video for us to share with you, and here is a fun fact about jellyfish.
So fun fact about these animals right here, they have an accessory protein called GFP, which is a green fluorescent protein that makes it so they emit this light. Pretty cool.
Thank you, Mr. Stepler! A week ago, the class of 2022 acknowledged their top 3 academic students. Class valedictorian Reagan Leet, class essayist Braden LeBeau, and salutatorian Taylor Levine were the recipients. Here is more on each of them for their future plans.
I'm going to Lehigh University in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, and I'm studying engineering. I chose Lehigh because it's a small school but not too small, and its focus on academics is something that I wanted to be with like-minded students. North Branford's taught me the importance of having a community to support you and the importance of forming teacher-student relationships.
Perfect. All right.
So next year I will be attending UConn. I'm in the honors program. I'm going to major in English and I'm going on the pre-law track. I want to become an attorney because I was really interested in both my AP US History classes and my AP Gov class, and I hope to study either environmental law or civil rights. I chose UConn because I was accepted into the honors program and the money was pretty unbeatable. And yeah, North Branford has taught me about the importance of being driven in my studies. I always got great support from both my teachers and my friends whenever I was completing assignments or studying for tests or completing projects, and really just taught me about the importance of being invested in what I'm studying.
Next year I'm going to Providence College to study psychology. I chose Providence because it's a small school in New England, which is what I wanted, and I got accepted into the honors program. I'm looking to try to become either like a child psychologist or some sort of therapist. North Branford has taught me the importance of community unity, playing a lot of sports and doing a lot of clubs with the teachers and students. It's really taught me how to form relationships with my peers and how important it is to get involved in your community.
We'll leave you off with some video from junior prom held at Bill Miller's. The night was full of dancing and memories. Nate and I went, and we had a great time.
Welcome NBHS to Bill Miller's for junior prom.
It's a blast. Let's go.
This year, with an amazing location, junior prom was back to normal. There was plenty of food, dancing, and great memories. Everyone had so much fun, and it was a great night.
Is that in T-Bird News?
It could be. It's so weird.
Listen, I'm having an awesome time. We gotta go. For T-Bird News, I'm Paul.
And I'm Nate Higgins.
Let's go dance.
That's it for T-Bird News. Our next news is the Spring Thunder Center and the year in review. We can't believe the end of the year is almost here. For T-Bird News, I'm Carly.
And I'm Paul.
Roll Birds!